Hi everyone, it's Joe. Welcome to another ramble. It is Wednesday, March 11th at 10:27 p.m. EST. And let us kick things off. Alrighty, I just remembered I need to turn in an assignment for class that's due tomorrow. That was a terrifying realization. I have it done. I just haven't turned it in. Okay, so, what did I do after getting off the ramble last night? That is an excellent question that I'm sure at least one of you asked. Unfortunately, I'm struggling to remember. Well, honestly, let's see. I think I was just watching YouTube because I didn't have enough time to. Well, no, I had some time, but I know I didn't play anything, because I know me and Riley did stuff, and then he went to bed, and then let's see. I don't think I really played anything after that. I know I debated it, but. Sorry. Honestly, I don't think I watched. I definitely didn't watch a movie. Didn't have. What on earth did I do yesterday? Well, I know I studied for a quiz, but I might have already discussed that. Okay, so we're just gonna safe bet and say I watched YouTube. I'm really sorry that I don't have a proper response to what did I do after ending off whatever wonderful ramble I put out yesterday. My bad. For the record, and I believe I've said this before, most of the time when I ramble, and then I upload them, and it's not that I forget what I say, I just I don't know. It gets. These are, and I've said this before too. These are daily archive records for, in case my bestie wants to know whatever happened during our time of unfortunately being no contact. They are also a form of therapeutic release for me. To that effect, unless one is particularly bad, particularly good, or something interesting happens as a result of it, I don't remember much. That is, now if it's one where it's I'm super excited and something cool happened, or I'm super miserable and something terrible happened, or I uploaded one and it got a cool response, or it did exceptionally well, or did extremely, utterly poorly and got 700,000 dislikes, that's never happened. But you get the gist. So yeah, sometimes you just times where I just don't remember what I've done. That's why some of the more important or interesting ones, I sometimes put things in the titles to help me remember, but most of the time I try to keep it consistent. And as we know, these things make me yawn like there's no tomorrow. I am so sorry. So then I went to bed and I decided we're playing with fire this week, because not only did I yesterday, almost be late to class. So today I woke up to whatever number alarm it was, and I was yeah, I'll be awake. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the rest of my alarms. So I did that. And then I fell back asleep, and I woke up again at 7:24, and I was I have class in half an hour. Okay. I was in panic mode, and I did not take my antidepressants today because we were checking to see if my legs would go back to normal. Spoiler alert, they did. So I will not be taking Lexapro anymore, and if anybody needs 58 tablets of Lexapro, it is on my sink. However, none of you know where I live, so getting that might be a bit of a challenge. My apologies. However, I'm not in the business of handing out my dorm address. Alright, so, anyway, I got ready, and, hopped in my chair, and then, I made sure to put on my coat for the rain, since I checked my phone, and it said, "You're gonna drive into a thunderstorm," and I thought, well, I needed something fun to do today, and that's what we're doing. So I drove outside, I was all ready, and there was no storm, and I was really let down. I'm kidding, I'd really rather not get rained on. However, there was literally nothing outside, and I was just like, really? I got all prepped and all worked up, and there's nothing? So I drove to campus, and I got inside, and I did team projects, and I hated my life, because team projects is team projects, and, I took my jacket off, I went to my next class, and I ended up talking to 2 people in there about like midterms and whatever, and the project we have due in next weekend. Then I had class, and I went and got lunch, and I slowly watched the weather turn from fine to, oh God, there's a tornado warning or watch or something back at home an hour from here. That's lovely. Here's hoping I don't die via massive windstorm. I didn't, obviously, given the fact that this is occurring right now. But I did, lots of rain and thunder and whatever, so I was, mentally prepped. I was like, okay, I've got Epic the Musical. I can turn on the Ocean Saga, all the songs about going through the storm. I can immerse myself into the Odyssey and pretend that I'm sailing through the wicked, nasty storm that Poseidon has created, which I actually had prepped this morning for said thunderstorm, and like I said, there wasn't one. So yeah, I got lunch, and then I went upstairs, oh my God, okay, trying my best not to yawn, I'm so sorry. You all must think I yawn so much because I'm bored when I do these. I swear to God, I'm not. I think I've said it before. I think my brain's just conditioned at this point. It's like, yeah, this is a relaxing and safe thing to do. You're relaxed, so you're just gonna yawn. I don't know what the reason is. That's the best I've got. I took a psychology class, and once again, that's the best I got. So I went up and played Uno for like an hour and a half with Nick, and I don't remember how many games I won and how many games he won. But we played for a long time. And then we went to lab, and oh my God, lab was miserable. I believe I talked about the lab from 2 weeks ago, and it was like, yeah, it's so bad I started yawning because of it. So it was, we were at like, I think 8 different stations looking at fossils, and you had to sketch one and observe, like make observations about it, and say what kind of fossil it was. So today we were doing that again, but instead of 8 stations, it was everybody got a tray of 12 fossils, look at it, read the description, write what it is, sketch it, what time period it's from. So, similar problem that I had with the last lab. I can't tell the difference between any of these, even if I read the thing. So I would read the descriptions, and there were some where I was like, okay, I think I can figure that one out, and I can figure that one out. So, I would skip around. One of them was literally a fossil that is in Pokemon, and I knew it right away, and I was very excited because I was like, oh my God, I know what that is. And so, sorry, blanking. So yeah, tons of struggle bus, with this lab, and it got to the point where everybody else was done, and the teacher wanted to go over it, but he couldn't go over it because I wasn't done, and I was like, I'm really sorry if I'm holding you up, and he was like, well, do you have any questions? And I was like, I'm just stuck. So I tried to explain to him, it's not so much a matter of I can't read the details and look for specific details. It's I just can't see what it's asking me to find. So see, at that point, I had complained enough to Nick that he was like, all right, what are you stuck on? So I told him which ones I was stuck on, and he was like, okay, well, let's look at this one. And he was like, is this fossil split into 3 sections? And I said, no, it's not, because I didn't see it. Well, then he proceeded to point at the 3 sections and was like, look, it's split into 3. So then I told him and the TA, as you can see, I just don't have the eyeballs for this. I don't see what you want me to see here. I don't see it. So I ended up staying until like after the lab was already ended. But I did end up getting everything correct on the paper. So that was a mess, but it's done. Next week, we're doing it again with little fossils and microscopes. I haven't used a microscope since high school chemistry or biology. Also, I wasn't sure where he was going to put the microscopes. So I said, hey, listen, are you going to put them on the tables where I'm like height level, or are you going to put them up on like the counter? Because I would put them on the counter because, like, to me, logically, it just makes sense. However, when I'm sitting in my power chair, I'm not at height level with the counter. So using them is kind of impossible. Sorry. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna work on that. Like, he was gonna think about how he was gonna do things. And then we talked about the field trip we're going on that is set at a creek where people find fossils for fun that is not wheelchair accessible, and nobody has ever taken this class with a disability in a wheelchair because nobody knows what to do with me, and it's hilarious. So the current idea is that I FaceTime someone, and then I see stuff, and then they bring back fossils for me to do stuff with. I'm not really sure. They're not really sure. I am quite literally possibly the first person ever to take this class with a disability, and it's the funniest thing ever. After that, rain said it was going to stop soon, so I went and got some dinner. I had a walking taco. I don't think I was very hungry because I didn't eat very much of it, or it just wasn't very good, which honestly, the meat at the Chipotle ripoff we have on campus, the chicken is fine. I think it's the carnitas are a little iffy. The ground beef, I keep getting it thinking it's going to be better each time, and it's not. I'm trying to think. They have chicken, they have carnitas, they have ground beef, they have something else. I don't know. The chicken, I think, is by far the best option. Though, even if it also is kind of not great. Then I went back to my room, and I managed to get outside right when the rain was done. Then I got back in here, and as soon as I got back in here, the rain started up again. Then I checked in on Animal Crossing. I was prepping some stuff to work on my other programming project this weekend. I watched a bunch of YouTube. I was gonna take a shower earlier, and I got distracted, so that is on the agenda for tonight. However, I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted, so it might get moved off of said agenda. Fortunately, no, people don't really come close to me, so I don't think I will stink tomorrow. But if I do, people will not be very close to me. I know that's gross. I'm sure you're all disgusted by me, but I am lazy and I am tired and my body is exhausted. Also, today I went into team projects and we had a quiz. So the syllabus said it was the cultural impacts anonymity quiz. The page online said it was the social impact surveillance quiz. 2 different quizzes. And I thought, okay, well, I read the cultural impact anonymity thing on Sunday, thinking it'd be Monday, and he moved it to Wednesday. Well, now online it says it's the other one, so I'll read the other materials. So I read the different article that was 4 pages instead of the thing that was 9 pages that I had already read Sunday. So I go in there, he starts the quiz. What do you know? It's the surveillance quiz. Boot it up and taking it, filling it out, and he goes, oh, I've just been informed I gave you the wrong quiz. Here, do this one instead. And I'm thinking, I haven't studied for that one since Sunday. So I finished the quiz, the wrong quiz. I got a 9.5 out of 10. And then I took the correct quiz and got a 9.5 out of 10. So I am a week ahead on quizzes. Go me, I guess. Sorry, that was a little out of order. but I forgot that it happened. So, so I've just been kind of chilling in my room ever since classes were done and whatnot, and here we are. Also, one other neat little tidbit of things that happened today. Now, typically, when I get a comment, if I remember, I will pull up the person and I will directly acknowledge them. Where am I going with this? Okay, so Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. My brain is utterly failing me because I don't know how to word things, and my brain is struggling. Okay, so originally, I would see comments, and I would immediately bring them up. Like, I would call out the person in particular. I'd be like, so-and-so said this, and I thought this. So it has dawned on me earlier today that may make people uncomfortable. I don't know if it will or won't. Spoiler alert, I got a comment, and I want to talk about it. But I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable by addressing them directly. So I will be discussing the comment. However, I won't be saying who left it, not out of disrespect or whatever, or not wanting to credit them. I just don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, especially because I think this is the only comment I have seen from them. And if it was somebody I've seen multiple times, maybe. And then who knows? Maybe I'll go back to my old way of just doing it regardless. I don't know. I feel like because I was trying to think about it, if it were me, if somebody just called me out directly like that, I not that I would be uncomfortable. It'd just be like, whoa. I don't know. I'm sorry. This is a mess. So, if you're hearing this and you're offended that I didn't directly say who you are, my apologies. That was not my intention. I don't know. It's just a change I decided to make because I don't want people to be uncomfy here. If we ignore the uncomfy stuff that I talk about on the regular. So, I woke up today to a YouTube studio notification, and I assumed it was, oh, your channel attracted a new subscriber. Keep up the good work. Oh, your watch hours have hit this much total. Good job. Keep up the whatever. Well, what it actually was somebody left a comment. I was like, ooh, comments. Love those. Comments are fun. Sometimes they're a little weird. I like the one that was this really odd one time that talked about Epstein or something. I don't entirely know. That sounds vaguely familiar. I'm hoping you all remember what I'm referring to. It's been a while. I don't remember what episode it was part of. So this comment, it said, hang in there, Joe. Or no, it said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to check it because I have the power of pulling it up myself. It says, I was almost there. It says, you're not pathetic, Joe, hang in there. And then there are 3 heart emojis. Also, I don't know if I talked about this one either. 9 days ago, somebody left a comment and it said, let's cheer up together, and it made me feel really nice. I'm sure I talked about it. Like, there's no way I didn't, but maybe I forgot. I don't know. So anyway, that happened, according to my notification, 20 hours ago. And I saw that, and I thought, that's really nice. When did I call myself pathetic? I mean, I know I've done it, but I was really thrown off, and I thought, okay. I had to go, and I had to get ready for class, so I left, and I was like, I will respond when I am done with class. And then I forgot, and I went to my next class, and I forgot. I went to lab, and I forgot, and I got dinner, and I was like, I never answered that comment. So I tapped on the comment, and I saw that it was on Ramble, August 8th of last year, 2025, and it says, rambling about my day, 8/8/25, and losing my mind. And then everything made sense. For those of you that either weren't here or don't remember, August 8th was, let's see, August 8th, where on earth is it here? Okay, so around, and I've told this 1,000 times, I'm sure you're all familiar, around July, the end of July last year, my best friend suddenly vanished from the face of the earth, like, as in just wasn't answering messages. Then a few days later, like beginning of August, I began to make rambles again, like being like, whatever's going on, bestie, it'll be all good. I'm sure you're maybe seeing this. I don't know, and I'm like, whatever. So then, a few days after that, I can't really go into details. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I was informed that I probably shouldn't make contact for the foreseeable future until given the go-ahead. So then I deleted some of those rambles that went up early August because I was worried that I had said things that I shouldn't be saying, since I wasn't really too sure what was going on. And then August 8th, I kind of lost it. I was in a very, very bad space, and I missed my best friend, and I still miss her so much. But that day it was really, really bad, because it was super duper recent, and I felt like it was all my fault, and I was a pathetic human being, which I still quite frequently say. And it was a mess. So I saw the comment, and I put the dots together, and I was like, everything makes sense now. I understand. So that comment, it made me, it gave me, by this point, I had gone through lab, and today was just kind of starting to drag on. That comment, I know I was, every time I saw the notification again, it, gave me a little mood boost. Just knowing that there are people out there who are, supportive of me, and are, trying to make me feel better from times where I feel like a hot mess and a horrible person. I'm half tempted from studying the analytics, half tempted to say they are a subscriber, and to that I say I am so glad my community is awesome. If I am wrong, my bad, but I believe the analytics say that you might be. Yeah, but I don't know. That was just a really nice interaction, and if they are a member of my, honestly, bigger than I thought they would be community, I'm very thankful. I mean, even if they're not, I'm still very thankful, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. Yeah, and I know that if my bestie is hearing this, I know that she would be just as supportive of all of you that I am, and would be saying that I am famous on the internet and that I have, the most amazing community ever. So thank you all for being awesome. Any hooser, we've been at this for about 23 minutes, almost 23 minutes, which is longer than I thought we would be. I think I kind of got almost in the sauce there, plus I couldn't get words to form. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. So, as always, if you liked what you're listening to, hit like, leave feedback in the comments below, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date on things I post. Follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined to do so. Link for that is in the description below. Also, really random thing, I feel like I noticed in analytics recently that older rambles are starting to get not attention, but I see that they're getting views. I don't know if they're actual views, people are sitting through them. But oh my god, it kind of freaks me out, because for those of you that don't remember, these started as I was in a relationship of sorts, and these started as sleep aids for said person. That's really cringy. I won't even deny it. So the way I talk in some of these older ones, oh my god, it's kind of embarrassing. However, I refuse to delete them because, yeah, that's just not how I roll. So cringy or not, I'm not getting rid of them. I just noticed that they're getting views again, and I was like, oh my god, people are going and watching the old ones. I'm so scared. Anyway, as I was saying, don't forget, your support means the world to me, and I love you all, and you're the best community ever. And but most importantly, I miss my bestie more than anyone else and anything else in the entire world. I can't wait to talk to her again and hang out with her and do stuff with her. You know what? Well, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I was gonna say I could put her on a ramble. I mean, I'm not right now, obviously. That would be interesting, but also I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for that one. Any hooser. Yeah, bestie, I miss you, and you're amazing, and thank you everyone for being awesome, and always like having my back and trying to make me feel better when I am a emotional wreck every other day, it feels like, or at least once a week. I don't know. I know it happens a lot, and it's probably not the best thing to listen to, but I appreciate you all for being supportive and putting up with it. Anyway, I've gone on for long enough. It's been 25 minutes. I will be back tomorrow with another ramble. Until then, bye.